Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Uranus. Transiting Uranus is in trine to natal Saturn. How transiting Uranus will behave in a trine with natal Saturn depends on the position of natal Saturn. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets aspecting your natal Saturn. But the basics are as follows. During this time you can combine your best qualities, responsibility, constancy, and reliability, all with creativity and innovation. But responsibilities and obligations are not prosecutors today, so you are able to enjoy a greater level of freedom in your life. And the key question in this period of time falls on the relief of restrictive circumstances and pressures. In translation, you will have much more discipline to learn new ways to advance in your professional life. You will probably publicly cheer for changes and innovations, and thus get the opportunity for creative changes in your life and in your work or profession. The future will combine and welcome change with long-term conditions. So feel free to move forward easier and clearer, release unwanted obligations from your life and free yourself. This transit will have a positive effect on technical, organizational, or structural affairs. Support constraints are also visible in changes in internal and external situations, and if you are already in a project, the maturity of the project will be extended or completed. In general, you will be more ambitious, and your hard work and knowledge will impress the people around you. It will seem to everyone that you can pave an easy path between those who resist change and people who want to change everything until yesterday. Even things like the government system, your professional responsibilities or social obligations help you express your individuality more freely. At the same time, you take on responsibilities unlike anyone or anything you've known before, and this gives you the spark you've been missing, and situations that breathe new life into old forms are sure to stir up what was previously dull and uninteresting. You will even let go of any principles or ethics that you thought were dogmatic or rigid, and now become more flexible with life. As we have already stated, this influence enables great progress in learning new techniques within your work and personal life which can be very innovative. Although the compatibility of the planets itself is not good, Saturn's rigidity really bothers Uranus. So we come to the point that you will not see the need for extremes, even if you yourself are otherwise inclined to them. The soft transit of this combination and the compatibility of signs, houses, and elements will greatly stabilize Uranus' impulsiveness. You will become more aware of social and public issues, and you will want to act on them in a way that improves people's lives. So, if you have planned social reforms well, they will probably succeed. People with Saturn in fire signs may have difficulty realizing the transit, for the reason that they are too proud to admit that some of their most cherished principles, which they have maintained for many years, no longer seem so important. In such situations, it will be impossible for them to swallow their pride and allow themselves to grow and adapt to new ideas, interests, and attitudes. They will have to work a lot harder, and if you wanted to learn something that was quite meticulous or difficult, now is the time when you can do it. Incorporate new techniques and innovative ideas into your profession or business, as you seem to learn new systems, technologies, or procedures quite easily. Let go of what can no longer be sustained. Now you can clearly see what must stay and what must go in your life, and it is generally easy to make all the necessary changes. This is one of the rare times when you can make a sudden shift with minimal discomfort. You tend to handle surprises better now than usual, whether they happen to you or you cause them. The whole process can be compared to a snake shedding its own skin. It is a natural process that lets your old habits and attitudes die and allows new ones to replace them. So you don't seem personally upset or threatened by the current changes, because everything that happens helps you to have more freedom and to express your individuality without problems to achieve what is proposed. However, if this individuality of yours seems destructive at first, don't worry, because just such an impulse will encourage you to clear up stubborn problems. You will be more willing to consider alternatives to what you have long accepted as right. So approach problems that you usually ignore or dismiss as too unorthodox. The procedure is relatively painful now, but you will not prevent the process, even if you are afraid of any new or unknown things. It's the same thing if you're a technical expert in a field, you'll find that you're able to work with more freedom of expression. You will also help others to learn from a fresh and relative perspective, so they too will accept changes by looking from a different angle at those elements of their life that are deeply rooted, and realize that there are options for what they believe is immutable. So you will encourage it for the reason that you are extremely sensitive to those who are afraid of their own shortcomings in keeping up or who do not see the point of renovating what is already working well. Try to do new jobs that you have never done. Instead of following the usual roles and procedures, try to introduce a greater variety of styles and originality, both in your work and in new challenges, because by doing something different, you can achieve results that can strongly affect persistent problems. If there are things that are chaotic, try to keep change at bay, but don't believe that it can last forever. Don't and shouldn't work too hard on it. Rather dull all the edges you can and let what can't be stabilized continue as it is, because finally, you can find purpose in certain limitations you had in the past and see them positively.